Hello YouTube, it is April Fool's Day, but this is not an April Fool's video, I can assure you. Um, it could be in a way, I hope that it is, that this wasn't orchestrated, but we're here to talk with some COVID talk today. I mean, there's nothing else to do as a beautician. We're still on lockdown for, I think, the next 24 days. Hopefully that's it. I hope they don't extend it for no more time. But they got us on this curfew for 5 o'clock. So I'm like, well, does that technically extend us until the 30th as far as beauticians? I hope not. I hope I can get back to work on the 25th since I'm out of my second job into the fall. But I got to thinking about this in the midst of waiting for my orders and responding back to inquiries about, because people have been asking out the woodwork, when can I come get a wax, when can I go get my updated pill, when can I do this, that, and the third, and I'm still having to abide by this darn restriction. But it got me thinking, in between time, let me go ahead and entertain this theory. Now I've been thinking about this for some time now. I was thinking, like, is this orchestrated? The timing is mighty convenient. It's during a time frame where, it's a presidential election. We didn't see nobody viable that can go up against Donald Trump. History shows that there hasn't been a president that really got kicked out who's running for election during a time where the economy is doing good. So what could we do to cause the economy to crash to such a low where somebody is Donald Trump level could get out of there? And I think, could this been orchestrated? Yes. Now this is where people are thinking that, I don't know where some people thinking that somehow Trump orchestrated this, because I'm hearing some people say, and I'm watching the news thing right now. I'm watching Special News, but they just got finished talking about the updates and all of that. But some people are saying that the Republicans did this to ensure Donald Trump get in, so it halters elections and it works against the Democrats. And I'm like, well, no, that really don't make sense, because this is the primary, not necessarily the general election. Like, I can see this, if this would have came up during like the general election season, where you can rig it towards Trump's favor. But the way this is setting up, it's looking like the coronavirus is going to take a time off during the summer, just in time for the primaries and stuff to get caught in. And by the time it picks up in the later fall, election season will be over with. Because they talking about this might make some resurgence in the deeper fall, so it'd be right around just after election day, going into Thanksgiving time. Like I said, fuck up all our darn on Black Friday sales and shit. Darn on stores or shit. You can't darn on do no Black Friday because you have to social distance. Then Lord knows, don't let it hit during Christmas time. And then y'all know in North Carolina, Christmas is like 70 some degrees. So we can't even rely on that it might be too cold for the virus to be around. Honey, that shit darn gone. It'd be 75 degrees in North Carolina on Christmas Day, as if we in California somewhere. Darn gone, Alaska be warmer than North Carolina on Christmas Day. But some people are saying that the Republicans might have orchestrated this, and I'm saying, well, hell, the way that they've been trying to get this, rightfully so, environmental justice reform on the Democratic side, I say, what's not to say that they didn't do it? To orchestrate something to, number one, get Trump out of there, and number two, to get us serious about our environment. Now, I'm not saying that this, it's a double-edged sword, so to speak. Because on one end, this virus is attacking everybody left and right. The ones who don't have enough common sense to stay in the house, to boost up your immune systems. And then when you hear people like me talk about the black seed oil and the vitamin C, y'all want to call us the voodoo queens and all holistic and all this, that, and the third. But honey, last time I checked, even the darn what did they say? The attorney, several darn on medical staff members of Donald Trump himself, the professionals done contracted the damn shit. All your nurses and stuff scared. But guess who I haven't seen falling out like that? All the voodoo queens, all the holistic sisters. I ain't seen one of us contract it yet. And I'm not saying that I'm not trying to speak that the black seed oil eradicates everything, but I'm just saying it's very telling that the ones who have been consuming the black seed oil and the vitamin C's and doing that as opposed to stocking up on all your hand sanitizers, because hand sanitizer is basic level. It's like, number one, if you're dealing with a virus is up to the next level in the cleaning this process. It's like you got sanitation, disinfectant, sterilization. It's like for something to fully eradicate a virus, you got to at least have a minimum of a disinfectant. So it's like, I don't know why y'all overdoing it with the hand sanitizer. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a video on my main channel telling you how the hand sanitizer, believe it or not, can actually make you more susceptible to contracting the virus if you're not careful. Yes, you heard that right. The hand sanitizer, if not used carefully, can actually make your body more prone to contracting darn gone said virus that you're trying to avoid. So if you want to know more about that, stay tuned on my beauty channel, Diva Natural Wine. But yeah, I said, wouldn't this be an interesting way to get people to finally, reduce their emissions? Because they were saying something about how on the debate stage that, we have to immediately do something drastic to reduce all the carbon emissions that's going on. And I said, well, hell, you can't just restrict this to the United States. And I've been saying this. I said this with Tom Steyer. I said this with all of them. I said, honey, y'all talking about cleaning up America, but y'all ain't talking about how America dumps how we dump our waste in countries like India and shit like this, and then we want to turn around and tell them to clean up their country. We want to have them in the Paris Climate Agreement, but we don't tell our side of the story of how we contribute to the detriment of said countries, also including Africa. You want to call Africa shithole countries, but you don't tell them how America somehow not only trashes our own land, but then we dump trash into other countries as well, where you have rivers in India literally covered with trash, and not all of it is from India. Some of the trash is from America as well. That's the stuff that's not talked about. So how do you combat that in a timely manner to deal with this climate change? And I think it took a world pandemic to darn on slow us all down. It took something that could simultaneously put everybody in a state of quarantine to a certain extent, get everybody, as many people as possible, off the roads, in the houses, and sitting in curfew to immediately reduce carbon emissions all over the world. That's the only thing that could have did it. Because people has been talking about policies, has been trying to educate people on the dangers of, throwing plastic and stuff in the rivers, and it go in one ear and out the other. It just sounds like, matter of fact, listening to this video right now might sound like going in one ear and out the other. But I'm telling you, if you listen carefully, I think the pandemic could have been possibly orchestrated for the betterment of the entire world. It's going to kill off a few hundred thousands of people of all different brackets. They had to make it sound somewhat realistic, so they got to hype up the celebrities that done got the stuff as well. We got to darn on, kill off a few of our beloved celebrities, so it don't seem like they above the reproach. Hell, we might even have to take out some Republicans and Democrats alike. Some prime ministers. Some of y'all gonna have to catch this too. We have to darn on spread it all the way out there to darn on create enough fear. Because if it was just targeting one demographic, like if they would have just restrict this to Asian people or the black people, it's like every other group wouldn't have felt like they, oh well, this ain't really affecting me. Or if it just affected poor people, well, rich people, they can still go out and drive up in they darn on Maybachs and Lamborghinis going 200 miles per hour, exhausting all the gas and shit in the air. What can we do that can get celebrities, poor people, black people, white people, Native American, Hispanic people, Israelites, everybody. What can we do to get everybody simultaneously in the house around the world, reduce the carbon emissions, reduce darn on waste because you're not going out to eat like that. The restaurant, well, you're doing takeout to a certain extent, but you're no longer in the parks as heavy in the areas that are on full restriction, so you're not throwing stuff on the ground. You're not at the beach at all, so that completely reduces the straws and shit going into the ocean. And I think that this is it. This is it. I'm telling y'all might think I'm crazy for saying this, but I think this is the one thing in disguise that has gotten everybody confined, where we have gotten our, where we slowly getting our earth under control. And I hate to think that something such as a virus, which is killing hundreds and thousands of people, is somehow a blessing in disguise, because once again, especially if you lost a loved one to, COVID-19, it definitely might not seem this way. But I think, if you look at it from the macro perspective instead of the micro, that for the safety and health of our entire earth, it's sad that it took this virus to get us all together in the house and thus reduce our, carbon footprint, reduce the emissions that we're putting in. But I think there needs to be a test after this shit is done with to see how our earth is doing afterwards and compare it to before the virus. And that this might be the proof that, we need to practice more in recycling, practice more into actually listening to our scientists about, changing over to more fuel efficiency, turn into more hydraulic cars, electric cars, grants for more houses to get solar panels instead. Now, solar panels are not necessarily the most efficient, so still have your regular electric source, but still trick out the house somewhat to have houses absorb electricity. And that's my 2 cents on that. What are y'all thoughts on this? I ain't want to do a very long video on this. That's just my thoughts on this. I was thinking, could this somehow be a sick, twisted, doggone blessing in disguise? A very, like I said, very corrupted, twisted, double-edged sword. And once again, this is just all speculative. This ain't nothing to be, said as fact. So I don't want nobody taking this as the gospel, honey. But this is just my humble opinion. I don't want you to try to doggone shadow ban me and all that. Once again, this is just my opinion. I don't got no medical facts on this. Ain't nobody sent your girl no message say, D1, I can't say this. Can you say this for me? Ain't nobody told me to say that. This is just my thoughts on this. So what are y'all thoughts on this? Like I said, in the midst of all the environmental issues going on, where in North Carolina, they said we actually had more snow than New York City, which normally has 18 feet of snow. And then that snow came to us in February of this year. So think about that. The little bit of snow that we got in North Carolina in February is more than what darn on New York has seen all winter. And then during, I think, Christmas, our Christmas was warmer than Alaska. Like our polar, the polar vortex and everything is just thrown off. And I think it took this to try to get some equilibrium back with our Earth. So once again, what are y'all thoughts on this? Y'all feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave y'all thoughts in the comment section below. And I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.